MayDay protesters spent the morning policing their campsite, saying goodbye to friends old and new, and preparing to roll out after 3 weeks in Washington, D.C. An estimated 500 plus owner-operators and their supporters have been in the nation's capital since May 1st, calling attention to what they say are unfair broker practices and a lack of representation at the regulatory table. 3 weeks is a long time to go without a paycheck, but drivers said they had no choice when the rates being offered are less than the cost of delivering the load. MayDay 2020 is the longest and largest trucker protest in recent memory. Here are some of the highlights of an event marked by diversity, unity, and pride in a profession and a legacy that they hope to leave for generations to come. It began with a man and a plan. Rick Santiago, a New Jersey trucker who developed a large social media following posting videos of purported broker abuse, called on others to join him in Washington May 1st for what was supposed to be just a weekend rally.
Good morning. It is 3 o'clock in the morning. Here, we are in the nation's capital. Through rain, sleet, or snow, we are bound by God to make this right. And here we come, baby.
Dozens of trucks arrived before dawn and staked out prime real estate on Constitution Avenue between the White House and the Washington Monument in a city uncharacteristically empty due to the COVID-19 quarantine. Empty streets were both a blessing and a curse, as the protest drew little attention and truckers quickly realized that they had not adequately planned for food and personal hygiene. A spirit of cooperation prevailed, and before long the camp had both a commissary and facilities. A week into the protest, President Trump tweeted his support for the truckers and sent out a White House aide with a bag full of campaign hats. When another week passed with no further word from the president, truckers took to the streets in frustration, blocking Constitution Avenue just as a convoy of 800 buses arrived for a rally of their own. A few hours later, the president sent out his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, to listen to the trucker concerns and to let them know that they had his attention. Meadows promised to take their concerns back to the president and to refer broker allegations to the Department of Justice.
So here's what I will call the Attorney General of the United States, Bill Barr, as soon as I get back to the office and ask him to look at it. Please.
Let him know.
The meeting was a shot in the arm for protesters whose spirits had flagged after being away from home so long with little to show for their efforts. Truckers allowed themselves to feel a cautious optimism, tinged with skepticism from years of having their voices ignored. On Monday, however, things hit a high note when their leaders were finally invited to a meeting at the White House.
So for us, I think this is a pretty good step in the right direction. We're not going to call victory, but they understand that we have no representation except ourselves. They understand the issues, and they understand that we as Americans want this fixed as Americans for Americans. And if it wasn't for all of you all coming out here and standing with us, me and CJ would not have had this opportunity.
Right. Truckers said Wednesday's meeting gave them hope that their concerns are finally being heard and that they're being taken seriously at the highest levels of government. Even as they prepared to leave, however, they said they'd be back and that they will continue to work hard to make sure that promises made are kept. For the Truck Boss Show, I'm Kuhn. I'll see you down the road.